Tara. Very good morning to everyone present here. Distinguished chief guest of today's function, Dr. C. Ananda Ramakrishnan, Director, CSIR NEAST, respected Director, Dr. Sridevi Annapurna Singh, invited guest, esteemed retirees, dear colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Institute, CSIR CFTRI, I extend a very warm welcome to each one present here. May I now request the chief guest and our director to kindly occupy the chairs on the dais and grace the occasion, please. Thank you. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate a momentous achievement as we proudly acknowledge and honor our own Dr. Sri Ananda Ramakrishnan, who has been awarded the prestigious first ever Rashtriya Vijnana Puraskar, Vijnana Shri. This incredible accolade undoubtedly brings immense pride to our institute and an inspiration to all of us. And he, a CFTRIN first. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan, with his perseverance and hard work, dares to dream big. On behalf of the Institute, a warm welcome to you, sir, and to your haven, CSIR CFTRI. May I now kindly request our Director, Dr. Sridevi Annapurna Singh, to welcome Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan with the plant sampling. May I now request Dr. Umesh Hebbar, Chief Scientist, Head, Food Engineering Department, CSIR CFTRI, to introduce the chief guest to the gathering. Please, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's my great pleasure to introduce the chief guest of today, Dr. C. Ananda Ramakrishnan, Director, CSIR NEAST, Thiruvananthapuram, whom I know from he's a close friend of mine and whom I know from last 2 decades. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan doesn't require any introduction to this gathering, not only to this gathering in the entire CSIR family, and also to the entire food and agri sector. But for the benefit of students, fraternity, and also the newcomers, I would like to briefly introduce him. Dr. Sri Ananda Ramakrishnan is a renowned scientist and academician with a vast expertise in the fields of food processing and agro-processing. Currently, he is the director of CSIR National Institute for Interdisciplinary Science and Technology, Thiruvananthapuram. Prior to this, he served as director of National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management, NIFTEM, Tanjore, which is an institute of national importance, formerly known as Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, IIFPT. He obtained BTech in Chemical Engineering from AC Tech, Anna University, Chennai, and also completed MTech at Anna University, Chennai. He has done his doctoral research in Chemical Engineering at the Loughborough University of United Kingdom. Dr. C. Ananda Ramakrishnan is an active researcher with more than 2 decades of experience in research and administration. His research endeavors are very well documented in the form of 216 impact factor publications with an average impact factor of 5.31 and an H index of 64. He has 3 international patents, 12 Indian patents, 1 commercialized patent to his credit. He is also the author and editor of 18 books and 125 book chapters published by coveted publishers. He has supervised 17 PhD theses and more than 50 bachelor's and master's theses. He has been an invited speaker for 210 talks in international and international conferences, convocation addresses, and panel discussions. He has transferred 17 technology to various industries and has provided hand-holding support to more than 150 food processing startups and enterprises to facilitate product innovation and revenue growth. Dr. Sri Ananda Ramakrishnan was the chairman of the Capacity Building and Research Program of the centrally sponsored PMFME scheme implemented by the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. Under this scheme, about 73 incubation facilities have been established all over the country with the support from NIFTEM Tanjavur, and more than 3,000 beneficiaries were trained under this scheme as part of One District, One Product program. Dr. C. Anantharam Krishnan is the elected Fellow of National Academy of Sciences, Fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Fellow of Royal Society of Chemistry, Fellow of Royal Society of Biology, Fellow of Association of Food Scientists and Technologists India, Fellow of Indian Chemical Society and Institute of Engineers. He was awarded the Kerala Academy of Science Honorary Fellow Award in 2023. He is a member of several professional committees of autonomous bodies under Government of India. He serves as the Associate Editor of Food and Bioprocess Technology and International Journal of Food Engineering. Also, he is the editorial board member of various reputed journals, including Journal of Food Process Engineering, Sustainable Food Processing, etc. He also received the Recognition Award in Agricultural Engineering and Technology from National Academy of Agricultural Sciences for 2021-22. He was awarded the prestigious ICAR Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award for Outstanding Research in Agricultural Sciences 2019. He was awarded the Tata Innovation Fellowship 2019-20 by DBT Government of India. He was also awarded the National Design Award 2019 for outstanding contribution by the Institution of Engineers, National Design and Research Forum. He is also the recipient of the prestigious Nasi Reliance Industries Platinum Jubilee Award 2018 and the IFA Special Platinum Jubilee Award for the Development of Food Processing Technology and Innovation in 2018. The icing on the cake is Dr. Anantha Ramakrishnan has recently been honored by the Honorable President of India with the highest recognition award in the field of science, technology and innovation, Rashtriya Vijnan Shri 2024 Puraskar, for the distinguished contributions to the agricultural science sector. Dr. Anantha Ramakrishnan, we congratulate you again for your wonderful achievements and the recognitions you have received. It's always a pleasure to have you here in CSIR CFTRI, where you have started your journey, and we are all eagerly waiting to hear from you about your marvelous journey. Thank you, one and all. On behalf of CSIR CFTRI, now I request Dr. Anantha Ramakrishnan to present his talk.
First of all, I like to thank Director CFTRI, Dr. Sridevi Annapurna ma'am, Dr. Umesh Abbar. Thank you so much for all my colleagues, friends who are watching in the live. It's always the feeling when you enter into the CFTRI. Just now, Dr. Sridevi ma'am was asking about how you feel it. Really, I can't express that one. Even smell of this hall, this building is in my blood. That's what I don't know what to say. As a person got a job in CFTRI at the age of young age 26. I entered along with my father in that road. Seeing that building, first is looked at that Lakshmi. First time I have seen Lakshmi standing in the red sari in that building. Entering to this hall and see that all the things here only I sat and then went to director's office. All memories are coming to me. Only thing I wanted to be a scientist. I got it, but how I'm going to deliver, I don't know. But this institute is given and is giving all the things what one person can grow as a scientist. That's what I can say. Whatever today I'm there, that foundation, seed, everything comes from this institute. Same hall I was at and listened to so many wonderful scientists and listened to their innovations, their science. Now today I'm same podium I'm standing and giving means really is a different feeling. Thanks to CFTRI, all the colleagues, former colleagues, present colleague, everyone, the student. Just I'm going to talk about my journey of the science. It is not the personal journey, the professional journey, what went on during last 25 years. This April, I completed 25 years of my scientific service to CSIR. I supposed to get a watch, I'll get it this one. Before going to actual my scientific journey, I wanted to talk about three personality who are influenced me my whole life. The first personality is Dr. V. Subramaniam. He is the founder director of this institute. He came from IIC Bangalore as a in charge officer to establish this institute. Sat in the same building, created a wonderful facilities. Someone can think about the institute beyond his lifetime. He is the institutional builder, scholar. See that what he has put the seed and the DNA of this institute today caters to that. So many success stories are there for CFTRI. If you list it, first one had come from Amul. It has come from his innovations, how he connected. He's published more than 600 papers in those days. Padma Shri, all the things, but more than anything else, he always think about the institute, how it is caters to the world. So always I think how to follow his footsteps. When I joined as a director of IICPT, where I entered his main entrance itself, they kept it Dr. V. Subramanian's photograph. Then I used to meet who are the people worked with him. This institute is started by Government of India. But PPRC, so-called as now NIFTAM Tanjavur, started by his own money. After completing his tenure here, CFTRI, he joined in the central government under the C. Subramaniam was the minister. Huge rain was there in Tanjavur, lot of paddy was, wet paddy problem created. Then Subramaniam sir told to go and see that problem to solve. He visited Tanjavur, reached out to Thiruvarur where the paddy was, kept it outside full dry, full wet. Then he decided he has to start the institution. His own money, he started that institute. Till death, he was running the institute with his own money. He paid all the salary, everything from his money. These people used to say, so 3 people are working with him that time. They used to tell all the stories. Then Dr. Washan, who was the former director of PPRC, shown one letter, handwritten letter, just 7 days before his death. Last sentence he has written, whatever I could do for this center I have done, hereafter you are to take care. He has written to his son-in-law. Can you imagine nowadays, anyone can be like that? Till last second, he is thinking about the institute growth. That institute can help the society. I don't know what he's dreamed of that institute. I know this dreaming of CFTRI today, what we are enjoying 75 years of this service to the nation. But I wanted to complete his dream. That's what I took his footstep. Till today, whichever decision I'll take, I'll follow. I'll think what Subramanian sir would have been done it. That's the same manner I have taken forward. He's a celebrated scientist. He's a father of Indian food industry. We need to proud of him. They created 2 wonderful institute of CFTRI as well as NIFTAM Tanjavur. Next person, M.S. Swaminathan sir. RC used to happen. He was the RC, longest RC chairman of this institute. I'm not interacted that time, but after took over as the director of NIFTAM Tanjavur, first person I met is Professor Swaminathan sir. The first incident itself, he has given clear idea on what to do. He told, yes, post-processing, CFTRI is doing secondary processing. You need to concentrate from gate to secondary processing. Focus on that. Let CFTRI do the post-harvest process, secondary processing. That gap still we are unable to fill it. You do that. Then every August I used to go his birthday, and whenever I'll go to Chennai, I used to meet him. That motivated the person think about science, how to take into the society. You look at his whole journey when he introduced the new varieties to the MSP and all the things. He put only one thing is front, country and the society. So how to use the science and society? That's what I learned from him. Third person is my guide, Chris Riley. I want to do PhD in the computation modeling. Finally, I got chance to work under him. The day one I joined, he fixed my Viva date after 3.5 years. See the planning, and he allowed me to learn, and he used to teach me full chemical engineering. So that's what I learned from him. These 3 are influenced all my journey, what I am there today. This is the building, what I said, that you look at that Lakshmi. It's not only gives money to this institute or the food industry. Where we are, our Indian food industry, nowhere we are. We are even importing milk powders from other country. Today, Amul is #1 in the globe. How much contribution of this institute? It comes from knowledge, and everything effort has come from all the scientists who sacrificed their whole life to create that one. This building is the Temple of Food Science and Technology. Always I keep it very high and proud. I started my journey here. I'm going to talk about the science hereafter. If you look at the 7 area I put it, one is the drying, CFD modeling, nanotechnology, 3D footprinting, and gastric digestive system, and societal reach bit, and then game-changing technology. I don't have time to explain all the detailed science, maybe some other occasion. Each one I can give the full detailed science, but the abstract and glimpse of each what I went on doing the research, I try to give. If you look at drying, spray drying is the one of the unique drying method. It comes end of the any processing line. Anything goes wrong, everything wastes. If you take any pharma product right now, 80% of the formulation product or encapsulated product comes from the spray drying. Milk powder, coffee, everything is come from spray drying. But we need to understand how the science behind that. How the converting the liquid slurry into the powder to make encapsulated product. That is the unique science we need to understand. That's what I started looking at my early stage. When water droplet comes from here, and it goes, water evaporates, it cools the droplet, then crust forms. How the crust forms? The drying kinetics of each admixture or each matrix is whose dries fast is goes outside, then forms the crust. This is the permeable crust. This allow water vapors diffuse. So most of the time, if you take it, the milk powder or coffee float in the water, it will floats. If you put it in the water, it floats. Why? Because the bubble inflation happening inside that droplet, because the partial pressure of water vapor stays inside. The permeable crust allowed to go out. If you increase that solid content, favors the strong crust, is not allowed to go out, it stays inside. That's what that air stays inside the droplet, it floats. In fact, we are losing the volume by ratio because of instead of giving the solid, we are giving the air inside. How to solve this one? That is my first objective. Can we use the same technique to make the encapsulated product? How to influence the drying rate different to make encapsulated product? That's what I try to do that. The same time, for example, you are drying the protein. Protein denaturation temperature around 55 to 60. How to avoid that one? That means you need to understand what is the temperature of the particle. That is the quite challenge. The millions of the droplet is produced. How to understand that particle's temperature? We come up with some solution is using the simple psychometric chart. Here, you take it the inlet gas temperature, and then you take that humidity, where it is moves the wet bulb line, where adiabatic saturation line, if it comes down, it comes 55 degree. That means inlet temperature of around 200 degree with that humidity, wet bulb temperature is 50 degree. When you spray the milk or anything, your droplet never goes beyond 55. That's what the flight time from the here nozzle to here is less than a second. We are able to give protection to the droplet. That's what we can able to dry enzymes, protein, everything. So this is what the concept we published. A lot of people are till now using this one. It's a fair estimation, around 2 to 3 degree difference, but still you can calculate again the inlet temperature, that enthalpy line where it goes. You need only moisture content of the particles. Then you need a sorption isotherm. Then you can get the water activity. That water activity where it intersects, that will give fair idea about temperature around 85 degree. The simple calculation, any engineers can use the psychometric chart to calculate particle temperature, adjust the whole process of encapsulation. So after we published, we have told about how to make the strong crust, permeable crust, what it means. You can make it a sustainable delivery of the matrix. That's what we explained. You refer all my papers that clearly demonstrated how to make an encapsulated product. After making so much effort in the spray drying concept, I wanted to go for the next stage. You can't dry all the product in the spray drying. For example, probiotic bacteria you wanted to dry, cell viability, we may lose it. Even the wet bulb production is given for 55 degree, it won't stay in the cells. So what is the other alternative? Freeze drying. So freeze drying is the 3-stage process. You need to freeze it. Water has to be converted as the ice. How it is converted in ice is a nucleation starts. Immediately crystal growth happens. Bulk of the ice is formed. Then removal of ice by the sublimation. It goes layer by layer. That takes long drying time. That's what cost of the freeze dried product goes 10 times higher than the normal. For example, if you take the coffee, normal spray dried coffee and freeze dried coffee 10 times higher cost because of long drying time. The energy input is more. Can we solve this problem? Best example, Planck equation is given there. T is the total freeze drying time. If you take it the L as the length, the bed thickness, what we are putting it to here, if you consider as a 0.5 centimeters, drying time is 21 hours. Can we make it L as the 50 micron? That means surface area you are increasing. What it does is very, very clearly demonstrated. Only 7 seconds you can dry it. How to convert this physics into the processing conditions. That's what I tried to do that. But one challenge is, again, vacuum has to do. Vacuum means again drying time is more. How to avoid? Can we do atmospheric freeze drying? If you take the water phase diagram, it is difficult. But Antarctica, nature has given every day tons of the ice is subliming in Antarctica. We took the clue from that. Only way is reduce the temperature as low as possible, still ice can vaporize. That's the idea. We constructed first spray freeze drying with the atmospheric conditions, like spray into the cold gas like this, then ice is formed, the single droplet, millions of the ice. Again, remove the ice by sublimation by the fluidization drying. This is the what rig we constructed. The first rig where the spray happens there, it cools at is minus 80 degree. Then ice will form each droplet and convert it, then move to the fluidized bed freeze drying. Freeze drying once, fluidization once, and both has to happen in the subatmospheric condition. That is the quite challenge. We could able to solve that issue. We could dry out the product as quick as possible, what I showcased at 21 seconds, but not that much, but we could able to deliver it. If you look at all the product, what it happens, see that we tried with the spray freeze dried symbiotics. We use the fructooligosaccharides to hold the Lactobacillus plantarum. First morphology, if you look at the spray dried, then the freeze drying. Freeze drying, if you see that once sublimation takes place, pores are formed, but you'll get like a flaky type structure, a glass broken structure. That's not good for the food processes because we need to mix with other product. It's difficult to do that. What we did is spray freeze drying. You get the spherical like a spray drying. You can look at the spores on that. Even survival and even gastric and intestinal conditions, SFD is better than freeze drying and all. Everything is fine. But when come to the encapsulation, can we call it as this encapsulated product? Because of so much pores on the surface. Because pores are there, how you can make it encapsulated? Then challenge comes how to reduce these pores. When it like this, can we close these pores? That's the idea. We try to work on that. This is what we tried at different self temperatures. You look at the self temperature from minus 40 to minus 80 when we changed, pore size also changed. How the physics works. Because when freezing is happening, quick freezing, that when you initiate the nucleation is the key element. Just you can manipulate with the DSC, you see that when crystal growth occurs, that point you know DG to crystallization happens, that point you need to identify. Then you put the self temperature, we change minus 40, minus 60. You see the particle temperature or the pore temperature, pore size 0.63 when minus 70. Very well uniform pores we could able to create. This, once you get this one, almost we close the pores. It's like a 0.6 micron, it's very, very small pores. Then no problem of what you are thinking about encapsulation. But this give another idea, like for ice cream industry, delivery of the nutrient, everything can be done from this manipulation of only one physical change of changing the self temperature. That's what we have done. We have done all other work, spray freeze dried. Coffee we have done beta carotene, whey protein, DHA oil, vanillin, vitamin E, probiotics. And even structure you can see from here. It is not like an actual spray dried. Here you can see the ice, how it moves. So you will get inside clear pores. So this type of structure, once you get it, you can convert as a pharma molecule like inhaler powders. That's what we try to do, that how we can use the same technique to deliver the nutrient through the lung, because this flows very well in your breathing cycle. Yes, one side we have done for the spray freeze-dried spray drying. Can we modify spray drying? This is the one pharma industry has come from the Hyderabad to us. They wanted to deliver the two molecules. For example, metformin or glimepiride can be go with a single particle, but both the dissolution rate is different, because any diabetic patients, they need to have a longer time to release in your system. Metformin is a 500 mg, glimepiride 2 mg, both dissolution has to be different. Can be possible to do in the single molecule. That's what objective is given to us. But as a food technologist, we can't do pharma molecule in our lab. So what we did, we have taken Saracat molecule of curcumin and resveratrol. Most of my talk, I have taken only these two molecules to understand the other process. That's what I have taken example of both, all the studies, only resveratrol and curcumin. You see that we develop the 3 fluid nozzle. You know that 2 fluid nozzle, liquid comes here, air is given annular space, that cuts that sheet, that creates the millions of the droplets. You put one more layer, you pump it another liquid. So we wanted to create a core cell formation. We could able to achieve, and it's create a really core cell formation. Even the pharma industry implemented exactly the same design in their industry. This is the simple modification, but it gives what you wanted to achieve in the final product. Yes, we achieved the spray freeze drying. One idea, it is the size and the dense nature. How to make it as an inhaler powder? Can we deliver nutrient through the lung? You know that vaccines and other things, now people are even insulin was attempted to deliver through the lung. So I thought of how to make our spray drying condition to make such particle. They call it as the median aerodynamic diameter. That it's, you see that DG is the diameter in the overroot with the density. So you need to play around that. Spray freeze drying does well the job, what you have seen. This particle is not produced from the spray freeze dried. It is produced from the spray drying. How it possible? The same thing what we did, the partial pressure of water vapor, when it creates in the single particle, we increase the outside temperature, that will blast it off. So what ice subliming takes place, we wanted to take out air also same manner to create the surface of the spray drying like that. But only thing, optimization of the spray, we put the ultrasonic nozzles to create the smaller droplet. So that means I can have a more wide space inside to remove the air. That's what we could able to create. You can see that even modified spray drying is better aerodynamic properties, can be easily used to deliver from the lung. That's what we created. I stopped this point to drying. Then we'll move on to the CFD modeling. This, I basically a chemical engineer. When I started my career, lab and other things, so better to work in the modeling. Because that time CFD computation modeling is coming up very, very fast mode. So I thought of to doing it. All other industry, they started picking up very fast. Food industry, very late 90s and 2000, we started food industry, realized we can use this model. For example, for understanding of the spray drying, just you need to take the spray dryer, you make it in the 3D geometry, then you have to make it a mess. Normally it goes for 2 million to 3 million mess. If suppose you consider the single mess like that, that is a gas. Any spray drying full of gas, first air, gas means here you consider as air will be heated. Then you inject the particle here, it goes. Physically, it's fine. How to simulate in the computer using only equations. What we did, we used the Navier-Stokes equation of mass, momentum, energy equation to solve first gas. But remember, CFD will solve only two-phase flow. But spray drying, you have the liquid, you have the solid, you have the air. How to solve this 3 into the two-phase flow? We use the Eulerian-Lagrangian method. First, we solve the equations, this to make the gaseous phase. Then we introduce the particle into that. What is the interaction between this particle and all? We use the particle trajectory, that's a velocity. This is, you know, the Stokes, and what is the density relation with the gas and particles, and heat and mass transfer between the particle and gas. One question comes, okay, it's the only particle moves with the air, you can map with this. But what happened to two droplet join together become a big or breaks and become a smaller? That we are not able to include it here. Later, I attempted using the population balance modeling from the birth and death, but it's long, take time and computational effort, but still fairly we could able to simulate. You can see that is validated. You can see the particle diameter, particle residence time, everything can be predicted from that. We are not stopped in the only CFD modeling process, and we went on to work on other processes as well. One is that finite element modeling. What I explained the earlier one is the finite volume method. The whole volume is integrated. Finite element model is you take the node of each one, integrated one. That is easy to do that. That's what most of the people used to go for that. Bread baking process is the entirely unique process. Again, the complex nature is heat transfer, all mode of heat transfer, conduction from the pan, convection from the air, radiation from the oven. All three need to be accounted. Second beauty of the bread is whatever the moisture you add 30% of moisture after baking, the final end of the bread, the moisture is almost 25%. Even you are keeping 20 minutes for 180-degree temperature, still moisture is not out from the bread. How it is the physical nature is happen? The strong crust initially forms, yeast is released the carbon dioxide, and vapor is created, the volume expansion happen. That water vapor never allowed to diffuse from, because side is the pan, top only portion, the strong crust already formed. What will happen? That water vapor, condensation starts. So how to account this condensation process in the physical equation? That's the challenge when we wanted to model the bread baking process. We use the heat balance equations, but only thing you can see that here, radiation is the convective heating. Both we balance with the conduction equation. The mass balance, only we slightly changed it. That what we did it is the how the CP and thermal conductivity changes. This is the what we made it. When temperature goes up, the water vapor comes. When we increase the specific heat is high, when it's condensate, we brought the specific heat to down. The same thing, thermal conductivity goes up. When condensation, it comes down. So we put these equations along with the existing equation. You can see that the bread temperature, this is the experiment, what is there, and bread temperature never crosses 100 degree. But if you're not adding this two equation model here, it goes like this. So we could fairly predict, okay, now you have the temperature profile and the moisture profile, what you can do, and time is there. This follows the Arrhenius equation of the first order kinetics. If that is the case, you can even predict the starch gelatination kinetics, which is the way you can find out the quality of the bread. That is what we have done. We use the same equation, gelatination kinetics has been predicted using only based on what the input results has got from the mathematical modeling of two models, and it's a well validated with the both. But question comes how you model the volume expansion. That also we have done. That's a unique approach. I'm not discussing on that, but is it possible to do that moisture movement along with the volume movement also is possible to do. Then extended that study for the beer. See, beer bottle moves from the tunnel, the pasteurization is comes and it moves from here to here. When bottle is moves, you need to put the hot water or steams added. Around 60 degree temperature is goes there. First 60 degree temperature for 13 minutes, then cooling zone, again temperature is 50 degree, 5 minutes is cools, final cool is 20 degree temperature, 10 minutes. When bottles moves like this, the tunnel, the temperature inside the bottle has to reach close to 60 degree to kill Saccharomyces cerevisiae. One of the industry faced a huge problem of this. How to ensure that temperature of the inside, that cold spot they used to call in the industry, how to find out. One approach is a CFD model can be do that. Is it possible to do that this many number of the bottles moves in the belt? Because this tunnel is 15-meter length tunnel. I said small spray drying itself 2 million cells means here I'll to go for 15 million cells. We don't have the system to do. Supercomputer also it takes at least months to solve that one. So what I did, we taken as the bottle is like this. Again, our cinema trick has helped me. Olden days you would have seen that hero used to sit in the horse. Outside will go continuously. The same technique, we kept it, the bottle is like this, just I changed the boundary condition of the bottle. In fact, bottle is not moved, but we physically moved it in the modeling. That's what we have done. You can see that our experimental and CFD simulation gives exactly the same results. Even inactivation kinetics also we could predict the p-value of Saccharomyces. This is simple as a food engineers, you know that you know only Z value, what is that for Saccharomyces cerevisiae, you inbuilt that. Again, the same first order kinetics will give the prediction of what is the inactivation kinetics. That's what we did in CFD. But we have done other studies on the CFD modeling. You can refer to my earlier published papers and other things, so many other egg pasteurization, other pasteurization we have done. Not moving. Yeah, these are the most of the work I collected and put it in the form of book. The first book of spray drying, whatever I worked on the spray drying, encapsulated, everything is after the master's book. This book comprehensively written, this authored book, and the drying of dairy product, and then CFD modeling. And this is what I used to teach our MSc food technology students here. And then NIFTM, all the whatever the teaching material convert as the book, textbooks, 250 problems as created, all our own problem. And the first time food engineering book is written in the point of chemical engineering based of even this book is discussed of chemical reaction kinetics, so you can refer it. And recently we published a non-thermal processing also, is that you can refer it for whatever you like to read it further. Next is the nanotechnology. See, nanotechnology is the huge opportunity. One of the few labs in our nation started nanotechnology very early as 2008-9 itself. CFTRA, we started this work. Our hair diameter is 1 lakh nanometers. We wanted to go and develop the product at 400 nanometers. You can't see from your eye, but you have to create it. Yes, the surface area gives way to make it absorption is more. That's what particle size reduced. Absorption is very high. And we are talking about anemic. Right now, it's almost 53.5% our country percentage of anemic, especially children are facing huge problem. Why it is happening? Look at here, except selenium and vitamin C, most of the micronutrient absorbs less than 50%. Iron, it absorbs only 10%. We tried to fortification, yes, fine, but it's not absorbing in our body. It comes out from our body. So we need to have a different approach rather than fortifying the iron in the same form. That's what we tried to do it. One is that can we deliver in the nanosize form to the different delivery system. That's what we approached it. We created the nanosize particles here. You can see 44 nanometer size of the iron as produced from the electrospraying method. We added into the phospholipids or liposome. Liposome, you know that center force is the aqueous force. There we put a cyclodextrin molecule, but that's a bucket type structure. So we put iron inside the bucket type structure, put it the aqueous phase, there center force, and the bilayer we put the curcumin. So we can deliver through the oral itself. Even we can use it if you pass it through the IV line. You can take to the breast cancer location. You can put the alternative magnetic. It creates the local temperature. That's what people are right now doing it. But for our purpose to deliver through the nutrient, even we can use it to put the magnet, all iron will come. What is the other advantage of that? You remove the curcumin here. You can deliver through the water. Already we have done. We can deliver the iron particles through the water, whatever the drinking water, through the phospholipids. Now phospholipids widely used in the pharma industry for delivery of most of the pharma molecules because the beauty of aqueous and bilayer is present in the phospholipids. Green tea, all we love to take a green tea, but a lot of myth around the green tea. If you look at the per cup of the green tea, you get only 10 milligram of catechins, epicallocatechin, catechin, all. But what is the absorption percentage of this catechin? Is the less than 2%. 10 milligram, it absorbs only 2%. How much benefit you are going to get apart from getting the pleasure of taking the green tea? So we thought of, can we increase per cup of green tea for 100 milligram? One way is making the nanosize particle. That's what we tried. We use the electrospraying techniques. That's nothing but you electrical potential increase into the feed liquid. For example, here solution of the green tea, it starts spray. You get the web or powder. So that is the depends on the how much you increase the electrical voltage. That's a Taylor conforms and you create. I'm sad to say still now we don't have any method to produce an nanosize particle in the large scale. Last 10 years we are struggling, including me. We are trying this method. We started in CFTRA. Still I'm not able to complete making the large scale production. That is the one challenge when we are talking about nanosize. But what we did, still oral route we are following. Can we go this epicallocatechin, catechin in the transdermal route? That's what we tried. We have taken the microneedle array from Singapore University. We sprayed onto the microneedle array. This is the top portion of that. thanks to Dr. Our institute to make such type of SCM. And you can see the particles are here and that can be delivered from the skin itself. That's what we demonstrated. And most of the things has been compiled in this, including the liposomal encapsula delivery has been given and recent other books. 3D footprinting, this is the different story as all together. When I joined the NIFTAM Tanjavur, that time we tried to give some snacks for the kids to give a higher amount of the protein and the iron and supplements. If you wanted to make it such product, where we will make it is, can we have any machine to make a bars in the schools? That time we came across the 3D printer, but cost of the 3D printing that time very high, around 25 lakhs. So we thought of to design our own 3D printer. This 3D printer indigenously designed is cost is almost 80,000 rupees. And we come up with so many product, including the first article also come from our lab, layer by layer printing. It is a little bit, say it's easy, but same time you need a little bit scientific inputs. See that this the easy to print is the rice starch. Any starch molecule you can print. This is the ideal condition of the printing. First print layer will go, second layer will go, third layer, what I shown in the earlier animation. But if your first layer is not withstand to hold second layer, it will collapse. So that is the challenge. Even rice starch, we need to optimize the speed, nozzle, and the matrix what you are putting. That is the big challenge when we move on to the 3D printer. Machine is fine, but the matrix, the ink, what you are so-called you are putting in the 3D printer, that has to be optimized. That's what we tried. We created so many inks, the so-called food product. One such challenge was that how to enhance that fiber content. If you increase the fiber content, it's difficult to print. That's what people used to say. What we did here, we use the fiber and protein. 17% of the fiber, 10% of the protein in the single matrix, we could able to print the snack. That can be post-processing with the microwave processing, you get very good snack. And even we tried, chicken does not have the fiber. We have taken the butter mushroom to add extra protein and fiber into the chicken. We could able to print the chicken meat with the same machine what we have done. So the 3D printing gives lot of flexibility because our food industry makes tons and tons of the product. Because recipe is same anywhere you can do it, but it's a customization. If you want this much amount of the protein, this much amount of the nutrient, everything you can customize. That's the idea of 3D printing. We are done with the even meat. 3D printer has been done. Here you can change whatever you want. But most of the 3D printed artificial meat or vegan meat, they use a soya as the source. We wanted to go alternative to soya. We went on to the millet and other product. That protein we match with 27% of the protein. Normally that 27% of the protein is given by the normal meat. We wanted to match with that. That's what we could produce. This technology has been transferred to the industry. And recently we published one more paper. This is published in the biomaterial of almost 12 impact factor. This oleo gel we created. It's a simple method. Oleo gel, everybody knows that is how you melted the fat and you can put it the nutrient. But here we combined electrospinning, encapsulation, oleo gels, 3D printing. First, if we look at here, first what we did, again, I taken the example of curcumin and resveratrol is put. Why I'm talking curcumin, resveratrol? The combined effect of curcumin and resveratrol, especially for the cancer, is too high, 4 times higher than that. That's what most of the studies demonstrated. So we wanted to work on that line. So we taken the electrospun. Inside, you can see that we put it the curcumin and the resveratrol. Once you made that nanothread, then we putting in the oleo gel formation. Then we taken and printed in the 3D printing. So all 3 technology, we put it in the single loop. We could able to better result here. You can see that gut sac method gives the better stability, better release of the curcumin. And because the beauty of curcumin is a fat soluble. So easy to go with oleo gels formation. That's what we discussed. You can refer to this paper. You get more insight how we have done this modification of that. Now we are working on 4D printing. For example, pasta is the twisted one. Can we create the sheet? That sheet, once you put the hot water and the milk, it twisted. Can we do that? That face change, color change. Both we tried and we started working on different aspect of 4D printing that also is going on in our lab at NIFTAM as well as NIST. So this is the first book, authored book on 3D printing, comprehensively written everything into that. Dr. Jain and myself has written this one. And recently we've come up with the 3 volume of emerging technologies in food processing, because our MSc food technology, our BTech students, they need such type of all the emerging technologies need to comprehensively put up this book also already out. This is the mostly for the textbook what we return to help the students community, including IoT, 3D printing, everything detailed in terms of the students we have written, including the problems also included in that book. Next one is that my favorite human digestive gastrointestinal system. When I returned back from UK, again joined back in our institute, and my real research is started at 2011-12 when I moved to food engineering. Then I was looking into that, how to deliver the nutrient to the system. Okay, I made a lot of nutraceutical compounds and formulations. How to deliver it? One is the animal model, or any other model is available. In India, that time it was nano-size particle. You can't do it in the system. If you look at the three system, one is that ex vivo model, and in vivo animal model, and human model. Only these three techniques. Ex vivo or in vitro methods are there. You take the SAC method, everted gut method people are using, or in situ method also people are using. Animal will be alive. You take that only intestine, you pass the nutrient, you can measure it. That also people are attempted an in vivo method. But what is the end result? Can we compare all the three? Our stomach capacity is 900 ml capacity. Rat or animal capacity is 250 ml capacity. Our intestinal is almost 9 meters, 7 meters to 9 meter length capacity. How you can compare all these things? We are optimizing the things. The best example, HIV virus. It is passed in the animal studies, is miserably failed in the human trials. That's what we wanted to need, that standardized method to study all these nutraceutical deliveries, or what we are making the formulations. And I looked at that literature. One is that TNO model. It's a very well developed in Netherlands. And you can see that the first portion, the top is the stomach and the intestine. That same intestine, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum is kept. And this is the IFR. They put the conical type of the stomach, and our Singh sir, Paul Singh, has done with the SAC type method and other methods that are simulated. These are the methods are there in the literatures. Can we replicate or go better than this? That's what my target in those time. And I started looking at which is the one close by that. If you look at our human digestive system, which is the one coming close, is the pig model. The digestive system almost equivalent to the human system. The same, you look at 1.5 liters maximum, 5 liter, 1.5 to 5 liters capacity can go for the pig, and the length of the intestine 21 meters, but you can split it. So initially I thought of to replicate, take that, we went to slaughterhouse, we collected that intestine, brought it to our food engineering department. You see that pig stomach we have taken, inner layer we created, we put the plaster. Almost 1 year I wasted the time here, but I'm unable to recreate. But Harinder Singh in Nisland University, Auckland University, they have done some very good studies on this. That's what I tried to do that in that line, but it's I'm not able to go on that lines. Then I took another way of looking into that. Another is that MRI scanning. So what we did, we scanned the human volunteers, including my students. MRI, only 2D image you will get. So that means converting 2D image into 3D image, it's a very big task. What we did, every minute we took 120 images. That means per second 2 image. So that we constructed as a 3D image and then 3D printed. This is the first stomach 3D printed in 2012 at NIE College here at Mysore. And once we made the 3D printed stomach, we converted as the molded to the rubber latex. That's what the stomach, what is shown here, and exactly works like that. This is the what natural stomach is working. You see the contraction takes place in the outer wall of the stomach, and the air is pushing the meal down. Pyrolic is the down that releases the meal to outside. We could exactly recreate it with our stomach model. The same contraction, what is happening, the contraction cycle, everything we optimized. But one thing I wanted to say that God created GI tract you can't recreate. GI tract almost equal to our brain. It's a tough to create. but we try to go at least 50% close to the what is God created. That's what our attempt. But a lot of studies are not much on that. For the simple example, how pyrolysis opens. When pyrolysis opens, who is controlling? Controlling is brain. But who is the given that signal to that? What is that? You are taking the juice, you are taking the solid when the pyrolysis open. That itself, getting the information is a challenge for me to design that one. For example, if you take the solids coming to the stomach, if high calories 3 hours, low calories goes like that water and all is again 2.5 to 3 hours. But particle size is almost 2 to 3 mm. If contraction takes place well, it releases 4 hours. If higher particle size, for example, meat type structures goes, it takes 5 to 7 hours. So that is a depends on the matrix, what you eat and how long you chew in your mouth. All these things interlinking. But standardizing that one to the machine is a quite lot of challenge. That's what if you see that food matter is comes inside, the pyrolytic opens. So I'll give 2 examples today talk. I'm not going for other examples how we design this one. One is that this pyrolytic wall and the gastric emptying rate, how we are put. Initially, what we did, we simulated the same thing with our expertise on the computation modeling. You can see the increasing the viscosity, particle movement will be restricted inside. So we get to know what is that contraction takes place, how the particle moves inside. Once we got that input, we move on to the scanning the MRI. For this study, we took the apple pieces, 300 gram of apple by the 100 gram of the liquid, whole night samples was the fasting. We did the scanning and age group 20 to 30, 40 to 52 age group we have taken, more than 30 samples have been taken. Continuous scanning was been done, not minimum, or we went on to 120 minutes, how it is digestion takes place. But not only we are monitoring the MRI images of the gastric emptying, also glucose limit also we get the input from the patients where sample was there in the MRI. We collect the data. This was done in the Trichy Medical College. And you can see that this is the what our stomach before minus 15 minutes. Once we given the meal, this is the meal and this is the air gap. So that's what you should not eat full meal always. Okay, you need to allow stomach to have a air. That air only pushes that particles moves inside. You can see the 30 minutes and 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes almost outing, emptying outing takes place. So this input compared with our model, you can see the ARK model and our in vitro, both the things, it comes as close as emptying model. This is not the straightforward. Whatever the input you get, we used with the optimized mathematical model to operate our system to make sure the same emptying pattern has been followed in the system what we developed. This also we published. I'm not patented my system. Everything, each and every component, every mathematical model, everything I published it. Dion has patented, they're selling the huge rate. And next stage is once particles disintegrate, that see is bolus forms in the your oral, then goes to stomach, chyme is created. That chyme goes to your intestine, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. I said earlier it is a 7 meter plus length. And but what we put each one is only 1 feet, 1 feet. Only we manipulated the residence time to match with what is happening in the actual thing, and the area only we manipulated with our equation, the surface area, total area, what is the human has, that we put it in our equation to map what is the result is coming from here. That you can see that segmentation motion, what is happening, that's what we constructed in our system. This is the results what we got it. See that second model is the glucose response curve we try to predict. If you look at any glucose response curve, this is the what it goes and it comes down. That's a normal. Glucose starts from that and it comes there. Our prediction goes here like this, directly opposite. But I said earlier, it is not that easy. But what is that problem here is initial model, our insulin factor was not included. Then we added the insulin factors, then it comes exactly like this. But again, problem is the initial glucose here, our model prediction starts from the 0 because this is the machine, we are as the human body. Human body always has the glucose in body. We never become a 0 at any point of time. But how we can put it into our system into model, that's what glucon model we added. Now it predict X close that. This model and validation with the same Apple and other system, whatever we published, most of the papers we published with the MRI image as well as our GI model. So this can be also used. And even actually biscuits are another complex. You have the protein, you have this is the millet biscuits and finger millet biscuit, plain biscuit, wheat brown biscuit, all we will add it into our system to study how it predicts the area underneath cow. You can get it from there. You can calculate the glycemic index, whatever so on. That you can see the prediction and the engineering system both predicted as close to that. If you look at whatever the presently available system in the globe, this system you no need to change the intestinal membrane. Other system, when you wanted to calculate the fat, you need to put different membrane. You wanted to go for protein, you have to put a different membrane. What we have put, we no need to change. Like biscuit, different matrix, you can even calculate the GI. We calculated even vitamin E, gallic acid, different matrix, all we documented. And this is the system. Right now it is there in the CSR NIST, earlier it was in CFTRI. Now we are working two areas. One is the oral. Without oral, controlling is still difficult. Second one is the large intestine. Oral cavities, another problem is the how you chew, how long you chew, and how much saliva is released when you are swallowing. For example, you are taking the curd rice, you take the biryani. Which one you have it longer time in your mouth, that increases your saliva segregation. So how to control that? And brain controls. How brain controls? So that now we are looking into that. Right now we are working with the Sri Chitra Medical Colleges, and functional MRI can map your brain food flow. Suppose you see the biryani, your brain flow will increase blood flow. We wanted to map that data. We wanted to use artificial intelligence and the ML using to create the oral. Already we started constructing that. Second one is the large intestine. Without large intestine, the system is not fully complete because we need to use the microbiota, we need to remove the water, we need to remove the fiber. So already we started constructing, maybe another 3 years or 4 years, we could able to complete both oral and large intestine. Then this system may be the better system to study all the food molecules, how it transfer. And this book has given most of the insight about how the food particle digest published by Royal Society of Chemistry. Next one is that NIFTM. Here I talked already a lot of insight about my science, what I have done in the NIFTM. This is a very small institute, 28 faculties. I told the Subramaniam sir started the dream, constructed. At the age of 42, I became a director of that institute. I don't know what I have to do, but only one thing I know, I need to fulfill what the dream of Dr. Subramaniam sir has done. I joined in April 29th, June month, near NIFTM Tanjavur, Perambulur district, one small village, Setikulam village, they cultivate a lot of small onions. But that time they're not able to sell the onion for what is adequate. Normally they take the loan per acre, they cultivate, and onion sales goes above per kg more than 10 rupees, they'll get the profit margin of almost 20 to 30,000 rupees, depends on the variety what the rate is less than 10 rupees. Whatever they put the money, they can't get it back. So that's why the farmers struggled. That time only 25 lakhs was there in the institute R&D budget. Then I called all the scientists. I told we are going to work next 100 days only to solve this problem of onion farmers. All we went, including the students, we went to that village. I told them to talk to the farmers. Then evening, we got a very clear picture. Even after this many years, we don't have the stem and root cutter machine. Onion, the small onion, salad onion, down is the root, stem will be there. You have to cut. The hot sun, almost 35 to 36 degree, people used to sit and cut. Labor cost, and that cost added. Thought of to make one machine for that. Peeling the small onion is the difficult task. Can we make one machine for that? That's the second one. So value addition will be there. So within 100 days, we could able to create that machine. It's automated machine. It goes the onion, it goes to the feeder, and there we use the cyclone separator, convert it into the different purpose to remove the peeled onion. This is the unit you can see. ASCT team has visited and see that ladies used to bring the onion to that center they created. Pushpa Subramaniam ma'am, secretary, visited that place. Madam told, this much is happening on small village. Why not you can't create into the whole country? I told, yes, ma'am, I need some time. That time I was involved in the one country, one product of FAO. I know that how Japan has done one village, one product. That is the concept Japan is grown 1960 to 70s. The same model only FAO wanted to do it one country, one product. Slightly I modified that into the one district, one product. I told Madam put up that proposal, went to PMO, got it almost 10,600 crore. Everything has done led by the Professor Subramaniam ma'am. And you may be knowing that PMFME scheme, what is went on. This is the what if you just visit to NIFTAM site, you go to PMFME site, just you click the beneficiaries, all the training module and all. August and September, we framed the whole scheme and 137 product identified throughout all the district of country, 700 district, and we made it all the product recipe, including the methodology, how to process, including the videos in 9 languages, including Kannada, Tamil, all the languages we made it, we uploaded in this site. And we created almost, when I was there, it is done 73 incubation center, and including the CFTRI 1 center, and Karnataka got highest number of the center, almost 12 next to UP. And right now it is expanded that one. And we have 3,000 beneficiaries in when I was there. Each and every district, we have a district resource person and we have a master trainers. How to use this one for larger picture. That is the what we need to think. We have taken MSME into such a level to ministry to make it. And even I was involved in the PLI scheme, introduce the millet can be included in the PLI scheme that already government has notified. We developed the millet ice cream in NIFTAM, and even we showcased that millet ice cream in our Prime Minister during the Krishi Udan Mela. And also mobile processing unit, Tamil Nadu government requested to develop, we made the 5 mobile processing unit. One is given to ISA Foundation at Coimbatore, even COVID time, it's worked very well. That concept works very well, and we need to only for not only food, fruits and vegetable, we need to move on to the other product that will definitely help how to make it our food processing units on wheel. When I was in NIFTAM, I was the leading 2 major projects. One is that Indo-UK project. That is the how to utilize the waste generated from the food industry. That Siddha Starch is supplier of potato to the PepsiCo. They have the huge amount of the peeled, that potato peel waste. So what we did, we extracted the starch from that potato peel. We added back to crisp chips, almost 40% to 50% we added back. But already PepsiCo is putting into the market studies and other things. We used Nottingham University and NIFTAM was part of that. Another one study, again, smart grain storage system. This also joined with the SIDA Kolkata, Samir at Bonal University. You know that grains is the problem is that moisture content. Ideal moisture content is 14%, but state governments changes moisture from 14 to even 17% or 20%. You know that farmers sometimes more moisture they will bring, but moisture is more, insect starts growing. So how you are going to dry? Again, fumigation is the another problem. What we did, this is the what unloading is happening in most of the storage kuton. We put it the online moisture meter is a top that has been developed by the Samir. Then it goes to the radio frequency dryer. There it's the reduction of the moisture as well as disinfection has happened. Already Raipur, FCI Gudon, we installed the whole unit. It's working well. So FCI wanted to study more, then they wanted to implement throughout the globe. That's what that. And fortified rice, a lot of debate on fortified rice, but still Dr. H.N. Misra sir was there and I was that same committee. We recommended this to Government of India and we made the standard for the fortified rice corner. But still a lot of challenges are there. If you wanted to solve this anemic and all the problem, only alternative is the fortification. But fortification of wheat, if CFTRI has done, is really good. But rice fortification is the challenge because you have to make the same starch. What is the broken rice, same variety you have to take, you add the folic acid and vitamin B12, everything. Challenge is that you should not, color-wise should not different and density-wise, shape and size should not changes. That is the big challenge what we faced. And we could able to create the rice from the extrusion. You can see that and also we 3D printed the fortified rice. It comes exactly the same length and size. And if you look at the density, we could able to match exactly very close to the natural rice. And this rice, what is the existing rice available in the commercial rice is the white in color, that is like a powdered rice. So we made it the transparent rice. That how I did it, nothing but I told 3 fluid nozzle. We use the layer by layer encapsulation. Then we have done the extrusion. That's a simple method we have done. It works well. And you can see that what is the problem in commercial premix. Commercial premix is the problem is ion absorption. I said again the 10%. We increased to 40% in our fortification. This is the what the uniqueness of our process. Not adding the iron is one side. If absorption goes again 10% means it's not giving the adequate level of per gram. We are mixing with the 1:100, 1:200 ratio as per the Government of India norms. But that case, is it possible to meet out the iron absorption in our body? So that's what we have done. It works well, but some extent lower in the B12, and we are working on it. It's possible to increase. It's not that lower what we have done, because one side you increase that iron absorption, then another side some balancing is there. We have taken initially it's only 3 nutrient. We can go for a other 7 nutrient already in the pipeline. Not only that, I said earlier, I always look at how to make our innovation to reaching the society. And we open up NIFTAM Tanjavur Institute. Anyone can come the institute. They can use any equipment. They have to pay only electricity charge. That's what we started. And a lot of entrepreneurs we created, like for example, Manjula has come and she started. I opened the 2 units. Now she's exporting Sangeeta. We put it the unit inside her house. We visited her house. I put up the unit. Just I'll touch upon one person is Vadamalai. This is the second unit I inaugurated along with the present NIFTAM director. Recently, he showcased his product to the Prime Minister. Last week, he recruited the student from NIFTAM itself. That is the growth we could able to witness. The entrepreneurs who come to the one small institute got benefited out of that. They need not only these 3 stories we have. 123 success stories. They come to institute with a small money, 5,000 to 10,000. They become entrepreneurs. The story still continues with the NIFTAM. Some problem. NIFTAM, after I almost finished everything, only one thing in my later stage of that, how to make that institute is the deemed university. NIFTAM was running with only 14 acres land. Next campus is the Air Force. You can't construct a building more than 19 meters. 14 acres is difficult to get it as deemed university status. Adjacent land we need to buy. Lot of approach has been done earlier directors, and I also tried. Finally, we positioned that land, another 14 acres land. One of the happiest day in my life when I signed that land document. Because of that, after that, we moved. NIFTAM wanted to become a INI status. We moved the bill to the cabinet, 2 times in cabinet, 2 times in the parliament. Because of first time it went to Rajya Sabha, then again Lok Sabha. NIFTAM has now declared institute of important status. One small institute, within a 6 years time, the journey is to that level is only because of there's very hardworking scientists and faculties and students in NIFTAM. If you look at that graph, 2016, they published only 2 impact factor. When I left 2022, it was 100 papers. This year also, they published more than 30 papers, and they are top 100 NIRF ranking. And this year also, the agriculture ranking also improved. We got so many awards for that institute, either AICT, Vishwakarma, FICCI award. It is not only success story of one NIFTAM, can be done any institutions. If all from the director to the last person put effort and energy, it's possible to change any institution, this environment. Then last November 2022, I moved to the CSIR NIST as the director. That institute, you may be interesting to know, NIFTAM Tanjavur started by our founder director. This also started by CFTRI. The team of scientists went from here, and during the Amla director time, AG Matthew led, and small spice research center is created in Trivandrum. That is become a CSIR NIST now, is contributed almost 50 years service to this nation. See, I'm going to talk a bit on what I'm right now doing in the NIST, so-called game-changing technology. This name I taken from our DG madam. Madam has given that name for that. One technology is the biomedical waste conversion. If you look at any hospital, lot of waste is generated. Right now, 700 tons of the biomedical waste per day generated in country. You like it or not, you are generating waste or not, each bed they have to pay 10 rupees to the IMA. They are managing the biomedical waste as per the Government of India regulations, CPCB norms. But what is happening? Suppose Trivandrum hospital generate blood and body part when they do the operation, the waste is there. That waste has to be brought to the Palakkad, almost 500 kilometers away. There incineration takes place. The carbon footprint, transport, all the things. United Nations already told to reduce the incinerators. So we thought of, can we have any other system? Before I joined itself, this technology is developed in the NIST. So they showcased this added into solution into that blood and that material. First disinfect, then solidified. It's become a soil additive. It's become a soil powder. Per kg of the weight of the blood and body parts, per minute is needed to convert it. When they showcased in the beaker and all, I told Dr. Srijit Sankar, who invented along with other members, why not you'll make it a total automated machine? So we worked on that. Now that capsicum machine has been ready, just you add that pot, it can be kept inside the operation theater. Whatever the waste, just that you can dump it instead of blue bag or yellow bag. You no need to do that. Automatically it is converted, that all the things pumped chemical, it comes the soil additive. We tested the soil additive. You can see that 3 times growth rate and yield as shown in the biomedical waste. Technology is ready, but we need to get a clearance from the Government of India. That's what recently we signed MOU with AIIMS New Delhi in front of our Honorable Minister. This month end, we are going to install the full-fledged system in AIIMS New Delhi. 3 months, we are going to do the trial runs in AIIMS New Delhi. Once we get the data, live data, third-party evaluation, it's going to be implemented throughout the country. Already 7 nations are interested to buy this technology. And coming October 6th, this technology also we are planning to transfer. And why I told it's the game-changing technology. What we are getting close to 6,000 crore for CSIR is getting the money from Government of India. This technology come to enforce, we get close to that per year for the CSIR. That's the idea we are moving on to that. This is not the first in India, it's a first in globe technology, but lot of hurdles and lot of things we are optimizing and hope we get able to clear as quick as possible. Second, one more game-changing technology is the vaccine oil monitoring. India is the largest producer of the vaccine, largest exporter of the vaccines. But the label, what is the vaccine oil monitoring placed in the vaccines, that will give indication. So because vaccine has to go with the cold chain, suppose you break the 4 degree to 5 degree cold chain, that changes the purple color. Only one company manufactures throughout the globe. Nobody else. And even India is paying huge money. One company is paying $150 million to import this vaccine oil monitoring. And again, we are exporting it. So one meeting was held in the Niti Aayog and a lot of people, including ICMR, our DG ma'am, all. They discussed how to solve this one. While returned back from the Niti Aayog office, in the lift, DG madam asked, Anand, can you do this one? We will do CSIR. We don't want any partner. I told ma'am, you give me permission, I will work on that. Next day, order has been released. We put up 30 people only on this project. Day and night, it is shift size, the lab is running. I committed to madam next March, I will give. First, we went on to that patent, what the original patent. That expired on 2019, but we could not replicate. Then we realized something we are not able to understand or we have something wrong. Then we want another layer of doing it. So we started isolating the different molecules. This is just monomers. You know the polymerization reaction can give the color change. We know that lead. So different molecule isolation, different conditions. You can see the VVM17. Now we have all the VVMs. We isolated the molecules, works very well, color changes, everything has been done. The challenge where it comes, how to put it in the paper. This chemical should not react to the paper chemical. Then how to put the glue and how to make that temperature condition. This is the great challenge. We are working on it. Again, this is another technology CSIR can change, can tell the world this is the what it is. So we are working. This already you witnessed vegan leather. We have taken the cellulose from all the waste, banana, pineapple, rice, pegas, cactus, all. We convert in the leather. 6 licensed, each technology is 20 lakhs. We earned the good money. Right now we have 200 inquiries on only one technology. But we are not going that fast. We wanted, first industry has come in Pune. He started getting the good. This one second industry in PA footwears in Chennai. So we wanted to move. How it is possible? One fellow from the Bombay is a very famous personality. He put it in his Instagram regarding this, that so many people have flooded it. That's what we need to learn, how to market our technology. This is the one example how it is moving on. The hydrogen, two hydrogen valley is approved by the government of India. One is that Pune, another one is the Kerala. Kerala is UNERT and CSA NIST is part of that. This is, we are taking the industry waste, we are splitting the hydrogen and using that hydrogen to production of the urea. That's a green urea. That's the whole plan. And approval has come. We need a land. We are working with the state government. Once we get this also going to be installed, that hydrogen can be used for other purposes. Well, that also we are working on it. This is the recently Trivandrum Airport has got green airport. You look at that digester. This has been done by CSA NIST. 500 kg of food waste has been collected from the Trivandrum Airport, is converted as the energy. The same energy converted as electrical energy. Whole Trivandrum Airport, the street light is lighted up by our technology. You no need to add any water. It automatically works. It's a microbial processing. You no need to do anything. 5 years it works as it is. Now we are expanding this technology for the midday meal program schools where the waste of food is more. They can use the same technology. Recently, another one also we added into the Trivandrum Airport. Suppose this hall, how much energy is there? So India is third largest utilizer of energy, fourth largest emitter of CO2. The CO2 released comes from the switching on the AC. Happy to see that this room is still not putting the AC. So we have to be responsible for that. Can we use the same energy, reuse it? That's the idea. Whatever it is, though the indicator, it's not work with the battery. From this same energy is harvested back. 35% of the same energy is used. This is, we put it the Trivandrum Airport to monitor the air quality monitoring, carbon dioxide, all the air quality monitoring can be done. Madam herself has fixed that one. Now we are putting another unit along with the SICRI. That carbon dioxide we are taking out, regenerate, we are using back. So that's what already we signed a MOU with Trivandrum Airport. We wanted to make sure that Trivandrum Airport is have all the CSIR technology to run. That's what we are working on. Vande Bharat already tested this system. So we wanted to install in the Vande Bharat display also using the same system, because whatever the energy used inside, we wanted to utilize it back. And coffee, it is you may be knowing, I'll take it another 5-10 minutes. It's very close to my heart, and I worked on coffee, a lot of things in CFTRI. But still, one thing I'm not able to do it, can we have a foam in the espresso? Foam can be created in the cappuccino because they use the milk protein, steam it, they get a foam. Espresso, can I get a foam? So the foam can hold your aroma. When you release in your tongue, you can enjoy that coffee. A lot of people have tried, Nescafe has tried, and a lot of other, I don't want to take the brand name, they have tried. CSI NIST joined with another company. We wanted to create such type of foam, not for the small time. We wanted to go at least 2 hours. Is it possible to hold the foam? You can see that commercial foam and our foam. Not only we are not created the foam, we created the cream onto that. And the structure, you can see whatever it is there in the commercial powder and what we created, that coffee, we could able to hold the gas inside the particle. The technology is ready. Very soon we are going to release the technology. This is also one of the game-changing technology. Very long time, only 2 companies have played in this era for creating the foam booster. Now CSIR also come to the game, and even our foam can stay longer than whatever available in that. And the mission, everybody is very well aware of that. Packaging mission has come. India's waste of packaging is continuously increasing. 12% global waste is the packaging of plastics, and we need to go out of this one. If you look at our sea now, 3 tons of fish, 1 ton of the plastic is there in the sea. How to solve? We are thinking like a paper is the best alternative, because everywhere they're giving paper. Look at the paper. You need a 4 times higher energy needed to convert the wood to the paper. And then you need a chemical treatment to convert bleaching to that. You are spoiling on side the chemical and releasing the water and deforestation. If you cut the tree, 15% of, see, one side you wanted to reduce the carbon dioxide, another side you are taking the paper, also not a good option. Then what is the other alternative? Glass. See, only 27% of the glass is only can recyclable, and it releases more carbon dioxide than even paper or the plastics. Then other alternative, aluminum, 400 times more emissions than the plastics. The energy is needed, more energy converting to the aluminum bottles. So what are the options are available with us? We need a sustainable manner to do that. Not only that, if you go for the microplastics, can you believe every week we are drinking or eating one credit card size of the microplastic? That is the 5 gram of microplastic. It's proven. Earlier thought, whatever you are taking the microplastic comes out from our body. Recent studies very clearly demonstrated it crossed the blood-brain barrier. How to solve this issue? If you are not solving this issue, it's a huge problem. This microplastics penetrating, leaching out from every place. Chennai High Court told milk should not be delivered through the plastic pouch. But vendors are telling we don't have the alternative. So it is our responsibility how to do that. See, the market of the plastics market is 27 billion in Indian market. The handling of the plastic wastage by our municipalities, all it's 137 billion we are spending money. This gap, how we are going to fill? And most of this wastage comes from our sector, food processing sector. That's what is the responsibility for CFTRI or NIST or CSIR. We need to come up with a solution. That's what we floated, Sustainable Packaging Mission. If you look at Tetra Pak, it's doing well. Multi-layer packaging is important. Can we have something indigenous one? Can we have a bottle, glass bottle, biopolymer-based bottles? Can we have a new source apart from BLA, PLG, some other new sources? And the indicators, for example, meat, the cold chain breaks, any indicators are there. How to link blockchain along with that whole value chain of this? How to solve this microplastic migrations, how to decode all these things. So that's what this center, and I'm very happy CFTRI also part of this. We committed to CSIR to deliver all this objective. Hope we could able to deliver it on time. Slightly one slide. I said NIST is doing very well. And as a director of NIST, I have to talk about something on the NIST. Last year we published 300 papers. This year also increasing. And R&D budget, day one, I took over as the director of CSIR and NIST. I told we have to increase to 100 crore R&D budget. When I took over, it was 22 crore. Now already increased to 47 last year. This year already last 6 months increased to 43 crore. Hope this year we can achieve around close to 80 crore. ECF also increased from 10 crore to 20 crore. Most of the money comes from the industry and technology transfer. And everything goes well. I started expanding the campus of NIFTM with the 14 acres land. Now we are going to start another campus at Trivandrum. I requested Kerala government. Already everything is over. Hope tomorrow, this Wednesday, if cabinet approved, 27th 10 acres land is going to be given by the Kerala government to CSIR and NIST. We are expanding our biomanufacturing hub, food processing, everything into the new campus. So limited time of 4 years. I hope that also I can complete before I leave the NIST. This statement is given by our Honorable Prime Minister, President of CSIR, not earlier, just 8 days before. This is our responsibility, CFTRI, CSIR responsibility to make our Honorable Prime Minister dream to come true. It's possible. Everybody can sit together. We can work hard. CFTRI proved it earlier. Again, we can prove it to the nation. It's possible to do. Only thing, how we are going to do that, how we are looking into that. Prime Minister wanted every table in the global list to eat India's food. Yes, our production agriculture scientists is proven is 400 million tons of the food grain we produced. Nobody expected we are going to produce. We produced it. Our time has come now, converting into the value-added product. If you look at the scenario now, we are almost 3.9 trillion now economy. What is the contribution of manufacturing sector is 25%. Again, our Honorable Prime Minister spoken in during the Independence Day, Sir has called India should be the world manufacturing hub. You take the two lead. One side, India should be a world food basket. India should be a global manufacturing hub. Can be achieved both. Right now, our 25% of the GDP manufacturing sector is contributing with the 3.7 trillion. How we double it? One thing we have to think, if such a case, among the manufacturing sector, food processing contributing 10% of that, we need to double the 10% to 20% for another 5 years' time. Right now, the market size, maybe next year, 535, now around $300 billion size of the food processing in India. That has to be doubled in the Indian market, the global market. 20 to 23, we exported $40 billion worth of the food product, agri-food product. That's not enough. What is the reaching the Prime Minister target? We need to increase at least close to 100 billion in another 3 years, 200 billion in another 2 years. Then 5 years, if you take it, the target, it's possible to achieve. We need to sector-wise, we need to work on that. Only one sector, if you take it, the biscuit sector, 2017-18, whole Europe imported $3 billion worth of the biscuit. They imported $3 billion of the biscuit. What is the contribution of India? Only $2.7 million worth, not even a 1%. We produce 100 million tons of the wheat. We produce 17 lakh tons of the sugar. Where is the problem? Mixing the sugar and the wheat to make the biscuit technologies are there. Where is the issue? We have to understand what is the consumer or customers needed in those countries. According to that, our technology innovation has to get into that, reach out that population. Another sector, coconut. We are third largest producer of the coconut. Vietnam and Philippines, Indonesia, what they are doing in the coconut sector, where we are lagging. Coconut water business is continuously increasing. We are not exported any of our coconut water because pesticides residues are there in the coconut water. How do we are going to solve? What are the new technology has to come? This, it is our responsibility, sir. We need to work all together. That's our in front of us. You look at the whole speech is there in video. Only one he highlighted is food processing. Our president is supporting us. It's our time. Viksit Bharat, we wanted to make it like that. Without food processing, we can't converting into the Viksit Bharat. What is the dream of this country? Thank you so much. And this can, please, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I didn't expect. When I went to that hall, Darbar Hall, they mentioned about I'm getting this award under agriculture, that too for food processing. I'm more happy our sector as pronounced in front of August gathering. It should not stop only one time. Every year, one person from CFTRI or NIST who are practicing as the food processing as their career or profession has to get either Vingan Sri or the UA award. It's a possible. If Ananta Ramakrishnan can do that, all can do that. Take it in that line. You work hard. It's our time. Everything is government is provided. Wonderful institute, wonderful place to work, good salary. What is not there with us? Just motivate ourselves. Put effort. Maybe setbacks comes in your life. Don't look into that. See that what is the final outcome, what you wanted to achieve. I focus like that. Whenever setback comes, I'll increase my work time. Instead of 10 hours, I'll work for 12 hours. That's the way I come across. You can also do that and achieve the target as much as possible. See, institute growth is not depends on director or anyone. It is the everybody has to work. Then only institute move. Director can sign the records and all. All has to work. Everybody has support each other. We can achieve what is that. I wanted to say thanks to all former directors who are motivated me. Dr. V. Prakash, Dr. Venkateswara Rao, Dr. Professor Ram Rajshekharan, Dr. Raghavara sir, Sridevi ma'am, all my former colleagues, present colleague, head of the department, student who worked, my own student, and present DG. Everybody has supported me for this journey. And NIFTM, as it is, they accepted me. Whatever I said, they worked for me, that institute, that student. And NIST, I'm not in that area. I'm from food background, went to that institute. Very short time they accepted. You've seen the result. All the scientists, colleagues in NIST. This award goes to everyone who supported. On behalf of them, I received award. That's what I have taken. Once again, thank you so much, Director ma'am, for inviting me to share my thoughts.
Thank you, sir. May I welcome Director onto the dais, please. Thank you, ma'am. From your inspiration to you being an inspiration is indeed a great journey, sir. Thank you for sharing your captivating research saga from various drying techniques to modeling to nano encapsulation of food molecules, 3D printing of foods, and an interesting machine human GI model. These will surely address many of the key questions in the field of food science and technology. Your role in NIFTM and NEAST, and whether it is a scheme of PMFE or PLI, is really commendable. It was great to see your contribution towards societal outreach programs, and we wish you very good luck with all your game-changing technologies at CSIR NEAST. It was much captivating to see in everything you said or you presented, there was a CFTRI footprint, and we are very proud of it. Thank you so much for your wonderful talk. I'm sure you have inspired many in the hall. May I now request a director, Dr. Sridevi Annapurna Singh, to render the presidential remarks. Please, ma'am.
Very good morning to all. I think I'm a little speechless actually. Dr. C. Ramakrishna, Ananda Ramakrishna, all the invitees, retirees, faculty, students. I think all of us were kind of speechless hearing what can be achieved in a very short span of time. Both of us say we share the same birthday. He's the first to always send me a greeting on July 25th. And I am kind of lazy, so I do it a little later. But he's a lot younger than me. So he has spent lesser time in CFTRI, in fact, in his career. But the kind of achievement he has done, I think, speaks a lot that we should have the right attitude, clarity of thinking, proper planning and organization. And everything just falls into place if you put in the work. And we have seen it in CFTRI. I was in Germany when he joined in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. And when I came back just then. And he had joined, he was very shy, and he used to be part of HR department at that time. He had his own lab there. And later on, when he moved to food engineering, he also took over as coordinator of ACSER. That's when many of us got an opportunity to hear him and to interact with him. I still remember I used to be in one of the monitoring committee for the projects, and he presented one on, I think he showed that graph of oven heating and bread baking. And I was so fascinated by that after I couldn't hold myself, and I went after his presentation and congratulated as to the wonderful way in which he presented. And today, exactly the same thought was there when he was, to be a good communicator is as important to a scientist as doing good science. And fortunately, here we have a person who also acknowledges the CFTRI role in his life, who has a little of everything, and that has made him really great. And all his achievements are, what shall I say, example for many of the youngsters and especially the students to really understand the power of one. And everywhere he went, NIFTM was started by CFTRI founder director. So he took the CFTRI DNA with him everywhere, which makes us feel a little bit lighter, a little bit taller, a little bit smilier when we think of Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming here, presenting your work. Indeed, it is wonderful. And you're still in your very, very early 50s, I think. So you have a long way to go, many people to inspire, a lot of seas to cross, mountains to cross. And we are happy. They say that if you want to shake hands with the president of US, he's only 3 handshakes away. So you just need to probably shake hands with the chief minister, who would then do it with the Indian prime minister, and the Indian prime minister would shake hands with the US president at some point in time. So I advise all of you to please shake hands with him very soon. You'll never know where he is going to be. And CFTRI is indeed proud of you, your achievements. You are an example where many of us biologists who are scared of mathematics and engineering and therefore went into biology. Here is an engineer who was able to demonstrate the application in biology. And that is where it is important to have the application to show how far we can go. And yes, I wish you all success and happiness in whichever institute you choose to after NEAST also. And I'm sure that we will all be watching very avidly and explaining to the people around us that we know you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your motivating remarks. Now, with utmost pride and appreciation, we request Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan to kindly accept our felicitation. The Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar Awards are India's one of the highest recognition in the field of science, technology, and innovation. It is established to acknowledge and inspire the remarkable contributions of scientists, technologies, and innovators, those who have made a significant advancement in the societal impact. This year, the award was presented on August 22, 2024 by the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, and Dr. C. Ananda Ramakrishnan, Director of CSIR NEAST, Thiruvananthapuram, received the Vignan Shri in Agricultural Sciences for his pioneer work in food processing technologies and sustainable food systems. Very big congratulations to you, sir, for your remarkable achievement. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. We have come to the end of this event. May I request Dr. Ramesh Kumar P., Senior Principal Scientist, to please propose the vote of thanks.
Very good morning to all. So noon is approaching at 12 o'clock. So respected Dr. Sridevi Annapurna Singh Madam, Director CFTRI, Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan, Vignan Shri Awardee, Director NIST Thiruvananthapuram, and former Director NIFTEM Thanjavur, and Chief Guest of today's function, and retired scientist from CFTRI, my scientific colleagues and other scientific, administrative and other staff, researchers and students. It is my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this special occasion. On behalf of our director and entire institute, we would like to thank you, sir, for gracing the function as chief guest and giving it the scintillation talk of fascination with science and providing insightful thoughts and giving remarks on importance of your transformative journey. We are extremely indebted to you in spite of your busy schedule and hectic travel. You grace this important occasion of felicitation to you of the coveted award of Vijnana Shri of Rashtriya Vijnana Puraskar. Thank you, sir. We are thankful to our director, Dr. Sridevi Annapurna Singh, for guiding us for this function with her constant support to make this event grand success and giving her remarks. As you know, this event cannot happen without the wholehearted support and encouragement of my colleague, Dr. Y.N. Srirama, Senior Principal Scientist and Head PMC, and Dr. Umesh Abbar, Chief Scientist and Head Food Engineering Department, and my fellow colleagues of Events Committee for meticulous planning and minute-to-minute program and also arranging this function. We are thankful to PMC staff, administration, agri-horti, security, estate management, electricity, INP and computer section, especially Manohar and team, Sunil and team and Punil Kumar for arrangements made and help rendered for this function to happen smoothly. I am thankful to Dr. Purnima Priyadarshini for nicely comparing this program. My special thanks to Chetan Bhatt for nice photography coverage. Not the least, we are thankful to all the present here, scientific colleagues, head of the departments, and coordinators of section and CFTR staff for making this event grand success. I conclude by thanking one and all for your participation. Jai Hind, Jai Vignan, Jai Anusandhan.